Unsee. And let me tell you all something. This Pittsburgh Steelers off-season, oh, baby, it's got all the drama, the chess moves, and the headline-worthy action that makes a man say, Mike Tomlin really out here playing 4D chess while the rest of the AFC out here messing with checkers. Let's go ahead and rewind this tape. Let's go ahead and rewind this tape. 'Cause we're going to talk about Aaron freaking Rodgers. That's right, Mr. Ayahuasca himself. Found himself not in green, not in white, but laced up in that black and gold for one last dance. You know what that is? That's legacy talk. That's Hall of Fame calculation. But Rodgers ain't just walking into Heinz Field. Excuse me, Acrisure Stadium. For the skyline views. No, sir. It was a man named DK Metcalf that got that engine revving. Now, I know a lotta. Yo thought Rodgers was done. Toast. Shoulder pads hung up. But here he is, 41 years old, talking like he's got one more symphony left to conduct. And who's in the front row helping him orchestrate it? None other than that chiseled outer granite specimen, DK Metcalf. Rodgers told the world, plain and simple, DK was a big part of the reason he packed his bags and touched down in Pittsburgh. Now you all know how Rodgers is. He don't hand out compliments like candy. If he says you solid, you better believe that's a glowing endorsement. This ain't just about talent. It's about chemistry. Rodgers ain't trying to get into no ego match with a young wideout that want to chirp every third play. That's why George Pickens had to go. Rodgers don't do diva energy, and Pickens been showing signs of that since he came in the league. The Steelers knew that, and baby, they handled it. Now, don't get it twisted. George Pickens is a beast. 6'3", speed for days, crazy hands. But football ain't just about measurables. It's about accountability, maturity, leadership. You can't have your own constantly barking at coaches and freelancing his routes when your QB is older than some of the coordinators in the league. Pittsburgh made a tough call, but a smart one. They flipped Pickens, avoided a second top-dollar wideout contract, and said, "We riding with Rodgers and Metcalf." That's a statement. That's clarity. That's structure. And when you got a legend like Rodgers in the huddle, you better give him some structure to work with. Let me paint this picture for y'all. Imagine Rodgers in the shotgun, DK out wide, a corner lined up scared, safety creeping over, and you can see it. Boom, quick slant, ball zipped with that vintage Rodgers flick, and Metcalf off to the races. But it ain't just about highlight reels. It's about trust. And they've been building that all off-season. Throwing sessions in LA, film study over Zoom text chains at 3 a.m. That's what wins football games. You think it's an accident Rodgers looked rejuvenated the moment Metcalf's name popped up in Pittsburgh rumors? That's legacy alignment, y'all. While Rodgers and Metcalf are setting the AFC North on fire in theory, there's another name hovering in the black and gold skies. Tyler freaking Boyd. Boyd is Pittsburgh-born, Pitt-made, and as reliable a slot receiver as you gon' find in this league. But let's keep it a buck. 2024 wasn't his best year. Down numbers, no touchdowns, and some Tennessee Titans dysfunction that throw off even prime Jerry Rice. But don't confuse circumstance with capability. Boyd still got gas in that tank. He is the kind of guy who flourishes with structure, precision, and, you guessed it, a quarterback who can actually deliver the rock. Now, imagine this trio. Metcalf, stretching the field vertically, Boyd underneath, crisp on the roots, moving the chains, Rodgers dissecting defenses like he's doing Sudoku in the pocket. Come on now, that's art. That's geometry. That's poetry in motion. Financially, they got around $19 million in cap space. They can do it. It's just a matter of will they? Boyd said it straight. Absolutely, he wants to come home, said his tight with Mike Tomlin. And that ain't nothing to sneeze at. A wideout that respects the head coach, that listens, that wants to be coached, that's a culture fit. And look, and see, know the game. If the Steelers are sniffing around names like Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper, don't be surprised if they circle back to Boyd. He might not have the Pro Bowl pizzazz right now, but he fits what Pittsburgh loves. Grinders, overachievers, no-nonsense soldiers who come in, lace them up, and get to work. Plus, Rodgers loves veterans who understand timing, spacing, and execution. Boyd fits that mold like a glove. He won't stretch the field like Tyreek, but he'll move the chains like Edelman. We can't talk Steelers without singing the praises of Mike Tomlin. This man done rebuilt the culture more times than some franchises even had a culture. And now he's orchestrating this reboot. Not a rebuild, mind you. With a 41-year-old QB, a revamped receiving core, and the full faith of the city behind him. Rodgers respects Tomlin. DK respects Tomlin. Boyd adores the man. That kind of influence, that's Hall of Fame aura. And don't forget, Tomlin's teams never finish under 500. If there's one man who can manage personalities, develop chemistry, and still win ball games, it's Mike T. Let's say they sign Boyd. The lineup could look like QB Aaron Rodgers, Roan, DK Metcalf, Daria 2D Wool, slot, Tyler Boyd with 3, Robert Woods, veteran depth, RB Najee Harris, this Jalen Warren combo Tay. Pat Fryermuth, you give Rodgers that kind of flexibility, that kind of reliability. Woo! It might not be 2011 MVP Rodgers, but it'll be efficient, calculated, and dangerous, especially in a division where the Ravens are reshuffling. The Bengals are watching Joe Burrow's health like it's a stock ticker. And the Browns? Well, they're still trying to get out of quarterback purgatory. Football is played between the ears, not just on the field. And Rodgers ain't just throwing to Metcalf. He's mentoring him. He's elevating him. DK is learning the art of route nuance from a man who made Davante Adams look like a cheat code. And Boyd, if he walks through that door, he already knows how Pittsburgh breathes, how it bleeds. He's one of them. That connection, that emotional investment, that turns 3rd and 6 into 1st and goal. This offense won't just be efficient. It'll be methodical. It'll be ruthless in execution. And with a defense led by TJ Watt and Minka patrolling the backfield, man, you might just see a vintage Steelers playoff run brewing. Look, Rodgers ain't got forever. He know it. We all know it. But what he does have is this one shot, this one season. And he chose Pittsburgh, not for the skyline, not for the legacy alone, but because he saw something real. Metcalf gave him the spark. Tomlin gave him the structure. Boyd could give him the glue. The NFL might be focused on Mahomes, Allen, and the usual suspects. But you'll better not sleep on the Steelers. 'Cause if they pull all these pieces together, you're looking at a dark horse, ready to light up the playoffs. This ain't a rebuild. This ain't a farewell tour. This is Aaron Rodgers saying one last time, let me cook. And trust unsay when I tell you, you give that man the ingredients, the heat, and the right kitchen in Pittsburgh, he gon' serve the whole AFC a big old plate of humble pie. Shannon Sharp out.